Hi guys, welcome back to another pick a card. By the way, my nail is totally broken. It's so annoying. During lockdown, it's just so hard to get my nails to kind of stay. It's really frustrating. But anyway, so sorry about that. I know it looks a bit crap, but yeah, there's nothing I can really do about it. And obviously one of my lessons is not to have to try and do this perfection thing, because then friggin' nothing gets done. So I'm just gonna have to roll with it. But anyway, apologies for that. But anyway, what we're gonna do in this video, we're gonna do it a bit different. We're gonna do a really short reading, so there's gonna be more choices. Hopefully it's just like 10-15 minute reading. And we're basically gonna go and find out what the Akashic Records want to tell you right now to do with support. So I'm going to do a range of these videos where we just go in and we just do a quick snapshot from the Akashic Records about a certain theme or a word or a meaning. So, and I thought with everything that's going on at the moment, support is one of these important things. So we have 5 piles for you to choose from. So slightly more this time. So is your answer in message number 1? Is it in message number 2? Is it in message number 3? Is it in message number 4? Can't even do that. Or is it in message number 5? Cool, so just choose your number and then we'll go straight on to pile number 1. Hi guys, so this is for all of you that chose message number 1 for what your Akashic Records want to tell you right now about support. So what we're going to do with this as well, we're going to go in a bit differently. I'm not, for this one, going to go into any channel in the beginning, and I'm actually just going to pull out all the cards before I say anything. So, message number 1. What do you need to know about support? Let's see. So let me just have a look. Oh. I feel like that one goes right at the very top. So message number 1, what does the Akashic Records want to tell you about support? Message number 1. So I'm hearing that we don't read any of these cards reversed. So let's take a look at your, I'll just pull them all over actually. So we get Conqueror of Swords. We have 7 of Coins. I love these cards, they're so cool. We have Ace of Cups. Okay, then we have Love. So this is the Lovers. We have Justice. Oh wow, we have Transformation, which is the Death card. So you have all major arcanas there. Let's have a look at your oracles. Okay, so you have this one here. I can't say that person's name, but the word underneath says grief. And then here we have Sea Sponge, Emotional Overload. Wow, so quite a lot's going on here. And then we have here Romance, lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. So just give me a moment and let me just quickly hear what the Akashic Records wants to tell you right now to do with support. Okay, so the instant message that I'm getting here is whatever is going off for you guys, and to be honest, it absolutely seems like it's something to do with relationship. So when we're talking about support right now through the Akashic Records, it's absolutely to do with relationship. I'm hearing that it's to do with a romantic type of connection, or where you sit to do with romance. So if you're in a relationship, if you're not, if you want to be in a relationship, if you say you never want a relationship, whatever one of those ones it might be, it's all to do with that energy. I'm hearing instantly as well that wherever you're at to do with support, to do with allowing yourself to either receive support in a relationship, allowing yourself to call in a relationship, allowing yourself to be happy in a relationship, allowing yourself to share yourself in a relationship, whatever it is, it feels like what you need to know about support right now is that you really just, it's about allowing it, allowing support into your life. And I'm definitely hearing that with the Justice card here, if you are in any way, so I don't know why that's not focusing, if you are in any way finding it difficult to allow support to come into your life, and specifically finding it difficult to be in a romantic relationship so that you feel safe, so that essentially you don't have any anxiety in relationships. It's also really important to have a look at things to do with your childhood, because for whatever reason I'm hearing that the Justice card very much rings into childhood, and definitely with this transformation card here with the child there's definitely something in your past. For some of you it might be really obvious what that is. For others of you, you might think, oh no, but my childhood was happy, that, I don't know, something like that. But all I know is the Akashic Records wants to tell you that what's actually coming between you and gaining more support in your life, particularly through or from or even receiving through a romantic connection, is it's about recognizing where you've stored grief within you, and usually grief is stored in the lungs energetically. And it kind of cuts off your breath, it cuts off your life force energy a little bit, it kind of reduces the size of your aura a little bit, it kind of reduces your receptivity a little bit, grief does, because it's cold and it's sort of icy. Now I don't get the feeling that you guys are cold or icy at all, so don't take that as what's being said, but it's more just a case of be really, really honest with yourself about where actually you felt like a huge sense of grief or loss or pain within yourself to do with some area within your childhood. Because when you actually can see that in a slightly different light, and when you actually integrate it and process it differently, just everything here is saying that you can have the most insane, amazing relationship with so much support in your life here with the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and this Romance card. But it does feel like essentially the Akashic Records wants you to know that, because almost like right in the middle of your reading there's the Seven of Coins. The Seven of Coins is usually a picture of somebody who's kind of like looking at things, their harvest, they're looking at what they've created so far, and I really kind of get this feeling that I don't know why this won't focus. Oh, there we go. I'm really kind of getting this feeling that it's about you, particularly with the eye in the very centre and kind of like the moon over the top in a weird kind of shape. I think it's very much about you processing something that's happened. So it also might be for some of you grief or pain from a relationship that ended in a way that didn't feel good to you, or something feels left unresolved or something like that. But with the emotional overwhelmment or overload card here, I definitely feel like there really is something that you need to have a look at to do with processing. Processing essentially grief that hasn't necessarily been fully, you might have acknowledged it, you might know what it's about. It could even be from a loss that you had in a childhood. It could be a loss through a relationship. It can be anything to do with that. And loss could be anything from somebody passing on to somebody just leaving your life abruptly. It feels like things about this might have been pretty abruptly with this card here, Conqueror of Swords. I feel like even if it was a long time coming, whatever this was, it kind of also has got this feeling of, I don't know, like it still at the end of the day, it felt really abrupt to you. And it's almost like, you might have been expecting it, but at the end of the day, you didn't understand how to process what it all kind of meant. And what I'm really getting really strongly from the Akashic Records is that without you kind of processing this grief, almost like this, I don't want to say unresolved trauma because that sounds really full on, and I just don't think it is you know what, you guys are more conscious of this, or you guys are quite good at your self-growth. So wherever it's at, no matter how big a incident it might have been with the emotional overload, I do really feel like you're in a really good place within yourself and all the rest of it to actually to process this and integrate it. But again, it does kind of feel like, I feel as well like the Akashic Records are saying, because we've got here love and romance, I really feel like there's something around all of this about you. When it comes to support, it's definitely allowing somebody to support you. And I've got a feeling that the other thing that's coming through is some of you might really ask people for support, but I feel like some of you are asking the wrong people for support. You're actually asking people that can't support you, and therefore it's still this unmet need that you have around the energy of support. And while there is this unmet need around the energy of support, it's going to be really difficult for your romantic relationships to come in and be nurturing and supportive, because it's about you changing that frequency within you. But I absolutely 100% know that this is going to happen, and the Akashic Records really just wants to tell you that this will happen. You will integrate this, you will resolve this, and that it kind of feels like the times now as well, because with this Seven of Coins right in the middle and kind of in this kind of, well, it's like the way it was, the spread came out as in this kind of position, sort of like I don't know, upside, halfway. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't this way and it wasn't upside down. It was kind of this way. It feels like you're at a kind of a choice point to do with this. And actually, as I say that, I can feel my voice quaver a little bit, because I feel like there could be... I feel like a lot of you guys have got this kind of thing, like you kind of do really know where it is that you need to go with this, to do with support, to do with letting people in that can support you, to do with like not collaborating with people that can't support you. And there's definitely something about, with this emotional overload, I definitely think it's about considering, what I say, the words are, just be careful when it comes to support, that you're not looking for support in emotionally unavailable people. I think this is really, really important. And also just check that you're not doing that with yourself as well. You know, quite often, you know, it's different for everybody, obviously, but it's always this thing about when it comes to support, can that person really be there for you? And can you also really be there for them? And also know that sometimes it might appear like other things are coming in the way of that are outside of each of yours control. Like there's some reason why you both can't support each other, and it's got nothing to do with either of you, seemingly. For example, you might be a really long distance away from each other, or you might have completely opposite work schedules, or one of you might already be in a relationship with somebody else. I don't know, there's all of these different combinations. And just ask yourself, be really, really, really critical of this. Really, really analyse it and be really, really honest with yourself. And ask yourself, am I actually just going for a person who holds the energy of emotional unavailability? And, you know, that's why my reality is kind of showing me that we're not able to actually connect and support each other, because of the dynamic of the situation that we're in. And actually it hasn't got anything to do with the situation, it's just got everything to do with where I currently still sit, to do with support. And again, it feels like this is something that you will find your answers if you are going for that emotional unavailability, which just means that your needs can't be met, to do with the support that you're looking for in romantic relationships. Check onto your childhood stuff, because it definitely looks like there's something there to release. Because she, to me, feels like she's looking at something and I feel like she's going to blow it away. And I think all you have to do is observe it and see it for what it is in the past, and then you can release it and blow it away. And then I really, really do feel, with the Ace of Cups and the Romance card here, you'll then be in a situation to really connect with and draw people to you, or situations to you, that are highly supportive. I also want to say that even though this has come through quite a lot like a romantic type of energy to do with support, the Akashic Records really just wants you to know that this energy of support will be relevant not just in romantic relationships, but in your working environment, in your home environment, with like a number of your different friendships. It's something that will almost like permeate through like a wave throughout all of the different relationships that you're in. So also as well, you guys might, if you know your birth chart, you might find that there's something interesting going off with your 5th houses, 7th houses, and I even think 10th houses. And if it's not in your natal, it might be in your solar return or your progress chart. So maybe consider that as well at the time of having this reading. But definitely, you know, right at the very top with there being this grief thing, I think it's just as well about you starting to have some experiences where it's like, I don't know why this won't focus, where it's just kind of, I don't know, like, it's just starting to change your perception of support so it becomes balanced and healthy, essentially. That's really what the Akashic Records wants to tell you as well. This is just about getting this really kind of like balanced perspective on support. And I definitely think as well, because there's childhood stuff coming through with this, it's about balancing out any codependency, any sort of neediness in whatever way it might be. And if you're not somebody that has neediness, you might be somebody that has like aloofness instead. And so the other thing is to definitely have a look at what attachment style you have. I think there's 4 styles of attachment, and if it's something like avoidance, anxiety, just healthy, and there's one more and I can't remember what they are. So maybe it might be useful to have a look at something like that, like what's your style of attachment, because there's definitely as well something about all of this that's coming up for you to review so that you can really get into a really healthy dynamics to do with relationships. And I think for many of you, it's just about seeing something in a completely different light. Again, with this eye, it keeps really, really standing out to me. It really, really does feel like it is just kind of, I don't know, seeing something in a completely new way. And it's not just that, it's like processing something in a completely new way. And that's basically what I had as a quick snapshot for what the Akashic Records wants to tell you right now to do with support. So obviously, just look at stuff to do with childhood. It's stuff to do with grief or a loss. Also, it could be from romantic relationships where there's been grief or a loss. I feel like it's something that happened pretty quickly, even though it might have been a long time coming, or it could have happened just suddenly anyway. But either way, it shocked you. It shocked you at your core, and it kind of meant that your nervous system is still kind of holding some kind of anxiety around connection, which ultimately leads to this receiving support from others. And I feel like it's particularly to do with receiving support from others. I feel like you guys can absolutely give support. I really feel like you can give support, but I think it's actually when it really comes down to it, particularly in a romantic type of connection, I think it's much harder for you to truly receive it. And for some of you, you might not even be aware of that. And like I say, this is something where you've got to go deep in on yourself and you've really got to feel into this a little bit. But like I say, everything, once you start to integrate this, essentially it's going to change how your nervous system processes things around support, particularly in romantic connections, and that's ultimately going to leave you wide open to a healthy relationship coming in, or a relationship becoming more healthy, or something like that. But that does feel really important, so definitely have a look at codependency, and also be really honest with yourself about if you are unconsciously connecting with people who are essentially in a space of not emotionally available. Like I say, they might be currently with somebody else, or they might have only just come out of a relationship, or they might be at a really long distance to you, or you might have completely conflicting lifestyles and work timetable. I don't know, there'll be something in there that actually might mean it's really difficult for you guys to support each other anyway, and that could convince you that it's the situation, not the person and the dynamic that you're in. But the Akashic Records are saying that really would be to miss the point, because reality is only showing you a reflection of where you are at, so therefore you've got to get really, really deep on this and you've got to view it. But please remember, at the end of all this, when this is all integrating, there's going to be the most incredible type of relationship or connection coming into your life, returning into your life, or transforming in your life. So yes, that is what I have for you as a quick snapshot. Hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, if this doesn't resonate with you, choose another pile, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye. Hi guys, this is for everybody that chose message number 2 for what the Akashic Records want to quickly tell you right now to do with support. So what we're actually going to do is I'm just going to do no channeling, and I'm just going to pull out all the cards straight away before we say a single thing. Let's see how this is happening. So message 2, what do the Akashic Records want to tell you about support right now? I'm going to get the oracle out as well. These ones are tarot. What do the Akashic Records want to tell you about support right now? Oh, you've got 2 there. Okay. For some reason you've got 2, I can see already. Right. Let's pull them all over first. So we have, you are limitless. You can do anything you choose. Yep, I always love something that's telling me that. Then it says here, forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Then we have here, fish. Oh, I love this vision. Learning. Okay, this is... Oh wow. Then we have wild woman. Okay, let's see. So we are reading these reversed if they come out reversed. Oh right, okay, so we have the magician in reverse. We have strength in reverse. We have message of fire. So that's like page of wands. And we have 5 of water. Okay. And then we have here death in reverse. And then we also have, oh wow, strength. Oh my god. So you guys have got 2 strength cards already. Right, so just give me 1 second while I feel into all of this. Okay, so what do the Akashic Records want to tell you, message number 2, about support? Okay, so the first thing that the Akashic Records want to tell you is that you are holding on. With this Strength card in reverse, I'm really seeing that you're holding on from some kind of past hurt, past wounding to do with support. Now, this feels like... This feels like it's a train of different episodes that have happened to do with, in some ways, I feel like the words I'm getting is being let down. I feel like you've been in a number of situations to do with where people should be supporting you. And I'm getting that this is a bit more general. Message 1 was definitely about relationships. This one is more just like in general. So it could be support at work, support with family, support with friends, support in relationships, support with your partner, whatever it might be. This is more of a general overall. It's kind of hitting, it feels more... It's important, but it's also something that's a little bit more hidden from you. I don't think you'll realise that this is necessarily having this sort of impact on you, is what I'm thinking. Because I think you're somebody that can be really good at just kind of getting on with stuff. I feel like for some reason you're just somebody that would just kind of get on with stuff. But I think sometimes you get on with stuff so quickly that you don't actually go through the full process of whatever has happened. So I feel like you've got a string of events that have happened in your life where essentially you feel like you've been let down. But to be honest, although you might be quite aware of it, I think you've kind of hidden it from yourself a lot because you've kind of like just got on with life, and you've kind of been kind of quite like, well, that's just what happens in life, and I'll get on and I'll focus on my work, or I'll focus on something else, and I won't worry about it. But actually what the Akashic Records is saying is that it is actually really important for you to just acknowledge really to yourself where you do feel like you have been let down by other people, just so that basically you can process it. Because with the Magician being in reverse, I kind of feel like there's something important for you to gain by acknowledging where you have been hurt by people and situations, or where you've been let down, sorry. And if you notice where you've been let down by people, you'll then suddenly start to be able to understand the pattern. There's some kind of pattern about how you've got let down by certain people in certain situations. And when you understand that pattern, you'll gain some greater awareness about yourself. And in gaining some greater awareness by yourself, you'll actually be able to move on to a whole new different cycle and understanding of stuff. I kind of get the feeling, and then what will happen is when you do that, the Magician will turn up right, and also the Death card will turn up right, and you'll get this full-on transformation to do with whatever this energy is around support for you as it currently is. And I do feel like you won't recognise this, but it's kind of, I'm hearing in your heart chakra, there is a bit of sadness. There's a bit of sadness around support, like feeling that it's better to do things alone. I'm definitely getting that energy here. Or you might be somebody where you think, no, I don't want to do things alone. But if you were to really, really look at your patterns, you'd probably recognise, oh wait, but I'm actually often sort of doing things alone, or I'm kind of often by myself, or whatever it might be. And it does kind of feel like there's some kind of message around that, because with Strength twice, one reversed and one upright, I feel like you are an incredibly strong person. I feel like you're incredibly determined. And again, I feel like you I don't know, there's also like a little bit of a push-pull I'm hearing. There's a little bit of a push-pull. I feel like you're somebody who basically might suddenly be really, really open to people and situations, and then suddenly something might happen that makes you feel uncomfortable and vulnerable, and you might suddenly really shut down and kind of withdraw, essentially that. I feel like you're really, really open, and then something happens and you suddenly massively shut down and withdraw. And I'm kind of like seeing the Cancer, the crab as well in the zodiac. Not that you will actually be a Cancer, but I think it might be interesting to recognise where the moon is in your birth chart, what's going on in your 4th house, and whereabouts Cancer is in your birth chart, because there's something about that will also explain to you how you have this kind of pattern of like opening up and then shutting down, opening up and then shutting down. And I'm hearing that partly it's something about you don't fully allow something to happen, because it's almost like of an unconscious fear to just actually be in a different situation, to do with support, go to the next level in support, like open yourself up more to receive support, to give support, to keep it in those spaces. And that's why we have this Death card in reverse, because there's still something for you to do a little bit differently to do with support. But like I say, it's very much about this. You really need to be honest with yourself about recognising where you feel like you've got let down. And I do feel like for some of you as well, with this sort of energy here, I feel like there's 2 things I'm hearing. So to see which one you are, you might be both, just go with it. It's something about when it comes to support, some of you, I feel like some of you will often feel like you need to be in control to do with support. Like, for example, let me just use a romantic relationship, but remember, for you guys, this can be work, friends, family, the whole lot. Is that essentially it's kind of like, if I'm in control, ultimately I feel safe. So when it goes to support means I have to potentially let somebody else come in and help take care of me in some way, or take care of a situation. And that therefore means I'm not fully in control anymore. And therefore, because I'm not fully in control anymore, I don't feel safe anymore. So I need to do something. I either need to assert control in the situation, which could push the other person away, or I actually need to withdraw from the other person so that I can actually get out of this situation. Either which way, I'll do something to make sure that I feel safe again, and that's when I'm fully back in control and feeling independent. I feel like that's what the Akashic Records really wants you to start paying attention to and recognising in some of the patterns that you have to do with support. And again, then the other thing would be to just recognise why it is that you have that pattern, what it is that kind of causes that pattern. And again, it could be because you've been in a situation in the past, or you've had some really big lessons, or you've been shown it in your family karma or anything like that, or your ancestral lineage, where essentially you might have had a lot of chaos around you in some kind of way, or been brought up around a lot of emotional or physical or mental chaos, and therefore it's made you feel like you need to be in control. If you're in control, then you can have damage limitation on chaos. But the paradox of it all is that the Akashic Records wants you to know that is keeping people at bay. It's not allowing you to receive all the support that's available for you. And not only that, you can't receive all of the support that the universe wants to give you. And I am also hearing that when you guys sort of balance this out within yourself more, so much flow is going to come into your life. Because there's also something about how you're controlling this with a push-pull about support and how you're receiving it and how you're given. It's all kind of quite controlled, that it's actually slowing down the flow of a number of things in your life. But you see, you have this great, amazing positivity in you, and you have this real, amazing determination to always keep going. And actually, that's what brings a lot of what you already have in your life, because you have this amazing positivity. You don't let things get you down. You don't hold yourself in a victim state, which is amazing. And the Akashic Records just really wants to congratulate you on that, because it recognizes that that's such a powerful essence that you have. But it just wants you to be mindful of that there's more for you to come, though, by actually allowing yourself to actually go into a little bit of what hasn't been so good. So allowing yourself to sometimes be honest with yourself about how something's made you feel, how it wasn't good, like kind of going into your feelings a little bit and not having to control your feelings and not having to try and control your response to do with the situation or control how you perceive a situation. Because like I say, that's actually keeping you in this push-pull dynamic. It's keeping you in a push-pull dynamic, which is also meaning that you're reducing the kind of flow that can come into your life. And it won't just be to do with support from other people and relationships and jobs and money and situations and opportunities. It's also just going to be support from the universe. So that's essentially what's coming up, just like boom, straight away, for what is going off for you guys, and what the Akashic Records wants you to know right now to do with support. So yeah, let me just see. I just feel like there's just one more thing with this. Let me just get one more card. I feel like something... There's just one more thing. I didn't do this on the other pile, so whoop, 2 cards, fair enough. Let's see what we get. Okay, clarity and ground, smoky quartz. So obviously smoky quartz is one of these things that I guess probably a lot of you will know if you're into crystals. It's definitely like a protective type of crystal. And I think just the final thing is to just pay attention about how much you potentially protect yourself, or how much you kind of censor yourself with how you're really feeling about a situation. Yeah, something about how you're really feeling. And I also get with the Herkimer diamond. Herkimer diamond is like a really big diamond for doing things like lucid dreaming and stuff like that. I'm wondering if for some of you will actually probably do a lot of your processing of negative emotions and negative feelings in your own dream time, because you really have this kind of thing of not wanting to necessarily go into them too much in reality, in like waking time, let's say. But there's something really, really powerful to do with you actually just really being honest with yourself about your feelings in actual waking time, because all it's going to do is, for some people, obviously that's not the best thing for them to do, because if they go into being honest with themselves, or if they go into some negative feelings, sometimes they can get stuck in a spiral to do with that. You guys won't do that. I really don't feel like you guys will do that. And if you do that, I really don't think this is the power for you, because I really don't feel like you are a person that will do that. And because of that, it's actually really important that you now use and look into some of those, what do I call them? Some of those more uncomfortable feelings, and uncomfortable memories to do with support. And like I say, it's something to do with being let down. I get this really big feeling about the Akashic Records just wants you to know that the thing that's kind of blocking you from receiving more support is not having processed something or a few things where you've really felt let down in the past, and therefore that in whatever way has meant that you feel that you have to completely take control of situations. That might be to either push people away or actually like remove yourself from a situation. And I'm hearing that neither of those is actually the positive or the healthy expression for you at this moment in time. The healthy expression for you is to first of all process why whatever it is that's going on makes you feel uncomfortable, why it makes you need to take control, and work at that. And then once you work at that, you'll then gain a lot of clarity from a very, very kind of like grounded perspective about whether you want to go further with this support, change this support, is this right for you, is this not right for you. You'll gain a lot of clarity basically about a number of decisions, and I think it might change for a number of you, particularly when the Magician then turns itself upright by you doing that, and also the Death card turning itself upright by doing that, and also the Strength card then turning itself upright by doing this. I feel like for a number of you, you're then going to start a whole new pattern in your life to do with support, and I do actually think that you might be changing either some of your situations, some of your relationships, some of your life goals, something like that. Something will start to change as you actually process whatever this is, and it will be taking you exactly where you want to go and more. Cool, because you have so much energy and so much power with this card here. You are limitless, and particularly with the Magician. It's just that currently the Magician is reversed just because there's something that you just need to look at that you haven't quite acknowledged yet. And I also am hearing that for some of you, that could be really useful to do it, say, with a therapist. Somebody that can really talk it through with you and just get into it straight away. But you'll know if that's right for you. So cool, that is what I have for you, message number 2. If this doesn't resonate with you, check another pile, and I look forward to reading for you soon. Bye. Hi guys, so this is for everybody that chose message number 3 for what the Akashic Records want to tell you about support. So we're doing this a bit different this time. I am just going to do no channeling, and I'm just going to get all the cards out first, then we're going to go straight into it. Whoa, it's too many. So, what do the Akashic Records want to tell you, number 3, about support? What do they want to tell you about support? So message number 3, what do they want to tell you? It's too many. About support. So I'm hearing that we don't read any reversed for you guys, so let's have a look. So we have the Death card, we have Sovereign of Wands, ooh nice, we have Seven of Air, we have Ruler of Cups, we have Two of Coins, we have Messenger of Earth. Let's see what we have here. No way, this came out in the message number 1. We have Sea Sponge, Emotional Overload. Oh wow, I love this card. You have the beautiful True Love. This love is once in a lifetime. Oh nice. And then you have Surrender. Okay, so just give me a moment just while I just feel into this. For what the Akashic Records is wanting to tell you. Okay, so actually, the Akashic Records is really just wanting to give you a message of encouragement. I'm actually really getting for you guys to do with support, which is essentially... I mean, a number of things are coming through, so let me just say it just like bum, 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 because it's all coming out pretty quick. Really, essentially, it feels like a lot of you guys have really worked with your emotional energy, and you've really got to a place of being able to work with your emotions in a harmonious way. I feel like you are just very in tune with how you feel, and I feel like you've been getting in a really good place to do with how you express how you feel. For some reason, I'm also getting that with this card here. Like, you know how to communicate how you feel, you know how to communicate what it is that you want, you know how to listen to what somebody else wants, and you know how to... There's something about timing, particularly with the surrender card here. I think you get the understanding of timing, like when to receive support, when to give support, when to wait and hold off on receiving support, when to wait and hold off on giving support. You've got this kind of really nice, I feel like, understanding of your own emotions, particularly as well with the Ruler of Cups, which is the King of Cups. But then you also as well on the other side have this the Sovereign of Wands, which I always think is the Queen of Wands. So you've got this kind of really, I feel like, quite balanced energy between your own masculine and feminine energy. So if we say your masculine energy is the way that you think and the actions you take, and your feminine energy is to do with the way that you feel and the way that you understand your own psychic senses and abilities, and use your own creativity. All of this feels really nicely balanced, and I think that's really just what the Akashic Records wants to tell you. They want to tell you, just carry on doing everything that you're doing. Carry on doing everything that you're doing. And you know, something that you really want, for some of you this is a relationship, but for some of you this could be anything as well for some reason. For most of you, I'm getting this as a relationship, like a really, really deep bonded connection. But for some of you, I'm also feeling that this is something to do with some life purpose goal that you have. And I feel like these two people just about to kiss, it's like I'm getting the vision of two planets just about to collide and cause like some crazy, two stars, maybe two stars coming in to collide and cause some kind of crazy supernova kind of amazing explosion. I feel like something like that is on its way into your life. It could be a relationship, but it could be a project, it could be an opportunity, it could just be how much in tune you feel with yourself. I mean, this card is just so friggin' gorgeous. So I feel that the Akashic Records also wants to tell you that carry on with everything that you're doing, carry on processing your emotions, carry on working with your emotions, carry on understanding timing, the timing of things, the timing of when to support, when to not support, when to open up, when not just yet to open up. Carry on with this really healthy expression that you're developing, and watch out, because a situation, I do feel like an opportunity is really going to be coming in for you. I think it comes in, I don't know, it's kind of strange. It feels like it might still be a little bit of a way off, but when it comes in, it's just going to be so incredible. And I also feel like there's something about you just getting further stabilised in this healthy sort of expression and understanding that you're sort of getting to do with support and where you sit with support. And as well, for some reason, it feels like a lot of what the Akashic Records wants to say to you, Pile 3, is also something about understanding like your own boundaries and other people's boundaries. And again, because it kind of feels like, for example, metaphorically, let's say, like there's a moment to go in for the kiss and there's a moment when it's not the best time to go in for a kiss. And that's another interpretation on boundaries and also timing. And so it's kind of understanding that more in your own life in multiple different ways. I suppose it's kind of like reading the situation and almost like anticipating when something is coming, so then you can be in the best situation to basically capitalise on it in whatever way that might be. Or it's also anticipating a situation so that essentially if it's something that you feel nervous about, by the time it comes you'll be so well prepared that there's no problem. You can go into more of that space of support and vulnerability and that type of thing. Because there does feel, I don't know, it just feels like this feels like the past, this feels like where things are coming to, and this feels like a combination of the past, present and future. And so again, it does feel like there's been some major transformation with the Death card. Really, I think with the Queen of Wands there next to it, about essentially just how you use your own power, how you understand, like I say, really, timings of stuff. Don't know why timings keeps coming up so big. It's like understanding when to receive support, when to give support. And I feel like with the Seven of Air, I feel like you've gone through a big cycle to do that. For some reason, I'm seeing the Seven of Air as very much in this situation as like a karmic understanding. You've come to a karmic understanding to do with support. And that is now setting you up now to be into this great position to receive some really, really, I think almost like the most supportive situations or people that you've ever been around, basically. But I do feel as well like the Akashic Records wants you to know that it's really interesting. I don't know if you can see in this card here. One sec. There's like a tooth there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there. And on the other side there's like a crystal. I feel like the Akashic Records wants you to know just to keep growing in the direction that you're growing. Keep gaining this wisdom. Keep gaining this wisdom about timings, about when to open up, about when not to open up, about when to share, about when not to share, about when to receive support and when is not the moment to receive support. It's kind of like having this kind of like fluidity with support, not being polarized about support, being very flexible to do with support, being very like in the moment with support. And the way for you to do that is something really important about really paying attention to your emotions, because your emotions are going to be telling you loads about this. So really, really pay attention to your emotions, because I'm hearing that for a lot of you, because a lot of you have done quite a lot of work to do with this type of thing, you now can really trust what's coming up within you on an emotional level. You know, sometimes when things come up on an emotional level, if it's to do with a situation that you haven't really understood or you haven't healed, sometimes that emotional energy that comes up can sometimes cause a bit more of a chaotic kind of scenario so that you can really understand what's going on. Whereas it feels like for you guys, it's more like when intense sort of emotion starts to come up, it's not about chaos coming into your life for you to process something better. It's more now giving you information about where things are likely to head. I suppose it's being almost a bit like a psychic compass tool within you, and that is your emotional energy, and you really can trust your emotional energy to do with support. So if you feel like actually deep down inside this isn't really a supportive situation, you can trust it, because I can tell you from all of this, it's not coming from some kind of unhealed trauma from the past, which is kind of giving you a false positive or a false negative. Totally trust what you're getting. Equally, if you feel like this is a situation where it's a bit risky, but you can really feel, no, this feels a really good opportunity, this feels really supportive, or I should really try and trust this support person more, or open up a bit more to this person, then also go with it. Because once again, I can tell you from these cards here, you will not be getting like a false positive or negative to do with the situation because of unresolved trauma. Essentially, it does feel like a lot of your trauma is currently to do with where you're now at, very resolved to do with support. So essentially, let's just leave it on this card, like just you are so close to something coming into your life in whatever way that might be, and just know that it's going to be great for you. You can trust it, you can receive support from it, and you can also give support to it. This might be a person, it might be a situation, it might be an opportunity. It's different for all of you, but essentially the Akashic Records wants you to know that you've done amazing with all of this to do with support, and an amazing, awesome gift is on its way to you. So cool, that is everything I have for you, message number 3. If this doesn't resonate with you, choose another pile, and hopefully I'll read for you again soon. Bye. Hi guys, this is for all of you that chose message number 4 for what the Akashic Records wants to tell you right now to do with support. So I'm going to do this a bit different to normal. I'm just going to go straight into the cards. I'm not going to channel, and I'm going to pull out all of the cards before I say anything. So let's see. What does the Akashic Records want to tell message number 4? Let's see. So message number 4. Ooh, 2. Message number 4. Message number 4, what does the Akashic Records want to tell you? We are getting 2 because it just sort of came out of my hands. Wow, so essentially the Akashic Records wants to tell you quite a bit. Now, let me just see. I'm going to turn them all over first. Okay, so the first thing is we have the Hierophant. Wow, okay, so that's a powerful card. Okay, then we have 5 of Coins. Then we have Ace of Swords. Okay, and we have 8 of Fire. By the way, I've been told not to read any of these reversed. And then we have Message of Fire and Strength. Then we have Giant Clam, Harmony. And then it says here, have faith, trust your faith in this situation. And then here, let's see what we have. Oh wow, we have doubt, and we have healing, holy, holy. Pachamama, oh I love Pachamama. That is what shamans call Mother Earth, Pachamama. Anyway, one second, let me just feel into all of this. This spread feels, I don't know. Just give me one sec. So, message number 4, what does the Akashic Records want to tell you right now about support? The first thing that I'm getting is these words, that you can trust that whatever is going off in your life right now to do with support, it's really, really important lesson that's going off with the Hierophant here. As soon as that came out, I just knew, oh, whatever is going on with you guys, it's something really, really important to do with support. It does feel though that you're in the process of it, because this spread sort of has just got this feeling like it's not fully settled. It's not fully settled. It's still kind of moving. It's still evolving. It's still growing. And I do really think that's some of the message that the Akashic Records wants you to know about support. I think as well, really, the Akashic Records just really wants to give you a message of encouragement that no matter what is going off, whether you're in healthy connections at the moment, whether things are happening that you want, whether you feel like life is supporting you or not at the moment, the Akashic Records really wants you to know that don't focus on what's currently happening, because it's not a true reflection of where you're at to do with support yet. It's still in the process. It's kind of like if you're in a car, you're like over halfway there to the destination of where you want to get to do with support, and that everything is going exactly the way that it should be going. And even if things kind of feel a little bit chaotic around support, or it doesn't feel like you're currently in a situation either romantically or work-wise, or I don't know, with life supporting you in whatever way that might be, even if it really kind of feels like, you know, you're not really in a place that feels very supportive, the Akashic Records actually wants you to know that you are, because this is exactly the path to that place that you want to be. and this is the way that you get there, and this is the way that you get there, so that when you get there, you can stay there, is kind of literally what I'm hearing. It's kind of, I'm getting a vision of, it's like metaphorically, like people are literally not just moving house, they're moving location. They've packed up all the stuff in the van, and now they've been driving for like absolutely ages, and they've got the maps out, and they're starting to feel a bit maybe, oh, like, are we nearly there yet? 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 That type of energy. But they really are getting so much closer to their destination, and the only reason why it's taken a little bit of time is because they're having like just a complete relocation. Like they're moving from a completely almost different country, it feels like across Europe, let's say, from one country to a completely different country, and so therefore it's just taken a bit of time. And I feel like, you know, what's going on right now to do with support is just really, really important to help you get exactly where you want to go, to do with support. So it feels, and also, can I just say this other thing, with the 8 of Fire, it does feel like actually this is all going as fast as it can go, and it's actually going faster than what you think, only it's probably just because it feels like it's been going on for ages and you're not yet at the destination that you want to do with healthy support, that you are just like, oh God. And I think this is why sometimes some doubt might set in to do with something around this, and sometimes you might feel like, occasionally you might get into a place of feeling like either it's not fair, or why is this happening to me, or oh my God, why? I don't know, it's like a why. Sometimes I feel like you might get yourself into questioning why a lot, and I think the Akashic Records really wants you to know that when you get into a question of whying, like why this, why that, why the other, it actually puts you into a 5 of coins, which is a 5 of pentacles kind of lack mentality. And what the Akashic Records just wants you to know is just have faith. Things really are going to start to change soon. But again, it's that kind of thing. As soon as you relax, as soon as you get comfortable with where you're at, that's when everything just kind of completely starts to transform. It does feel as well, like with Pachamama here, healing, holy, that kind of thing, it kind of feels like, and with the Ace of Swords here as well, and Strength and Messenger, I kind of feel with all of these cards here that the Akashic Records is a little bit like, somebody can help you, basically. There's somebody, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a book you read, whether it's a YouTube video that you read, whether it's a conversation you just happen to have with a friend, I don't know, so it feels like you're on the hero's journey to do with support. And what I mean by that is like healthy support, like the loving, amazing relationship that you want, or the amazing job and boss that you want, or the amazing employers that you want, or the amazing business that you want, or the amazing bank account that you want, whatever it is to do with support. Because for support can be many things, right? It can be financial, it can be emotional, it can be mental. Yeah, like with mental, it could even be with like the support of people understanding and acknowledging what you're saying and who you are and what it is you believe in, and them actually supporting what it is that you believe in, you know, that kind of thing. Support can be massive, it can be so many things, and it just feels like there is somebody that can help you, and that in itself is also like the step at this moment, because for you to allow somebody else to help you at this moment in time, I feel like as well it's somebody to help you who's different from who you usually go to for help. So if you always use the same type of therapist, or you always use the same type of therapy, or you always talk to the same sort of friend about whatever it is, I feel like this is somebody different. I really don't know. I think it's with the Strength card and the Messenger. It feels like it's about being vulnerable to open up to a different type of message to do with whatever is going on for you. And that's going to come through somebody different to who it usually is. And that's also part of you opening up to a new type of support. So it's kind of part of the step in this hero's journey that you're on to do with getting where you want to do with support. I just want to pull one more card. So like I say, these are just really quick little snapshot readings. So what else? One more thing. Transition, yeah. I mean, I just think this is just kind of, you know, what I was saying about the vision that I can see of this journey, and people are literally not just moving house, but they're relocating, and it is just going to take a little bit of time. Just recognise that you are at a transition point to do with support, and just keep having faith to do with it, you know. And, you know, I'm really pulled to these moons here, the moon cycles. I'm hearing something like the Akashic Record says, just don't question anything for one complete moon cycle. So that might be from one full moon to the next full moon, or one new moon to the next new moon. And anytime you kind of get this kind of thing about, oh, why, or I don't know, whatever it might be around that, or am I nearly there yet? Or it's a constant question that you're kind of asking yourself, or you're asking the universe, like, when are they coming? Or is this relationship okay? Or when am I going to get that job? Or I don't know what it is, because it's different for all of you, but whatever is the thing that you keep asking yourself over and over again, the question that you keep asking yourself, or the question that you keep asking the universe over and over again, hold off doing that for one full moon cycle, and then just see where you're at, because I'm just hearing that that's going to be really, really powerful for helping you to change your vibration slightly. And I think as well that will also help you find somebody else who can help you answer that question of why. So whatever your why question is that you've got, there's a soul out there, and I would even say this soul is destined for you to tell you, to help you with this why. And like I say, it could be a therapist, it could be a different type of friend, it really could be anybody, right? It could even be a relative that you don't usually talk to about whatever this type of thing is. But there's somebody, and it feels like it is an important soul contract, because they're here to help give you clarity on your why, which ultimately comes around your lack of trust in yourself, lack of faith in yourself, and lack of faith in life. So they're going to really help you with that. And again, with this doubt card here, they're really going to help you stop doubting yourself, or because questioning is another form of doubt I'm hearing for you guys at the moment. Sometimes questioning is about information and curiosity, and questioning can be about loads of things, right? But for you guys currently, questioning, it just brings in some kind of doubt, and that's something for you to just be considering. But as well, I was so drawn to this when I first saw it, the Harmony card. And for some reason, it's showing me like your chakras. And I think if any of you are into kind of meditations, I think balancing out your chakras could be super, super useful. And definitely something about the root chakra. Having the root chakra, just feeling kind of, if you do some guided meditations on the root chakra, I think that could be really, really powerful. And equally, just a really, really quick thing that you could do, just be really, really quick. What you can do is, if you close your eyes, visualize your root chakra, the red chakra, basically base of your spine, look at it, and you might see there's some sort of darker black bits. Use your breath, deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Visualize that black energy from the root chakra come all the way down your legs, out of the soles of your feet, into the earth, into Pachamama, and continue doing that until literally your root chakra is bright, bright red. And I think that's something where over the next moon cycle, whenever you do this from too, just keep checking in with your root chakra, and just keep, and if it ever looks a little bit cloudy, or if you can't visualize stuff, if it just feels like it feels a bit heavy, do that breath work to help move that heaviness out of the body. I think that could be really, really useful, because I do also feel that having faith for you guys in whatever this is to do with being supported, like I say, whether it's a relationship, or it's a relationship coming in, or it's a project coming to fruition, or whatever it might be, it feels like there's something about support that is really linked into you trusting. Like, this is really, really important, and there's something about that then links into you feeling safe. So the Akashic Records really ultimately wants you to know that support for you currently is very much linked into trusting and to feeling safe. And that's something that you're currently going to be working through. And there is absolutely an important soul that can help you with this. So feel into, if you feel like this is a therapy or a therapist, feel into if this is like, I don't know, a book that you might get drawn to, or a YouTube video, or I don't know, even a person that you know of. Because it's absolutely there, and that's what the universe or the Akashic Records wants you to know right now. So cool, hope you enjoyed that. If this message didn't resonate with you, just try one of the other piles, and I look forward to reading for you again. Bye. Hi guys, this is everybody that chose message number 5 for what the Akashic Records want to tell you right now to do with support. So I'm doing these videos slightly different. I'm not going to channel in the beginning like some of the other ones. I'm just going to pull out all the cards and then just go straight from there. And I'm going to get all the cards out before I start saying anything. So a little bit different to usual. But I think sometimes it's really nice to mix it up. Let's see. Oh, I feel like you guys are having like a nice shape going on. So what does the Akashic Records want to tell? Message number 5 about support. I'm hearing that we don't read any of these reversed. It feels like it comes out like that. Okay. So none of these are read reversed. Let's see what we have. I feel like this, oh no, let's go with this first. Okay, so we start off with the Ruler of Cups. So that is the King of Cups. Then we have the Six of Swords. Then we have Conqueror of Wands. So I think that's the Knight of Wands, or at least that's the way I'm reading it. Wow, then we have the Death card. I think about 3 out of the 5 piles have come out with the Death card to do with support. So clearly there's quite a lot going on for everybody to do with support right now. And I mean, obviously it does make sense. Let's see. Okay, then we have the Ace of Earth, which is the Ace of Pentacles. Then we have 8 of Earth. We have Ace of Air, so 2 aces. Then we have Learning, Fish. Oh, nice. And we have Newt, Mystery. And then which is the one in the middle? Oh, that's so cute. I love these cards, they're so cute. So this one says, spend quality time together, listen and talk to each other. Cool. I mean, to be honest, this just comes out screaming from the Akashic Records really quick. And you know what? I'm going to say, I reckon for almost 90 to 80% of you, what I'm going to say, you've either been feeling or you've heard it on other picker cards or you've heard it from different people. And it's so funny because my throat chakra is starting to close up. The Akashic Records just really wants you to know that to do with support, it really is about you sharing through communication how you really feel. It's how you really feel about a person to a person, or how you really feel about a situation to somebody that can support you in changing that situation. It's just really, really important that you actually explain how you feel to somebody that you know it's really important to say this to. And I'm kind of getting as well, like, well, it's just so many things. But I mean, ultimately, you know what? It is safe for you to say what you need to say to this person, whoever this person is. I feel like you've done a whole load of self-growth. You've done a whole load of stuff to do with whatever this is, with this relationship or the situation, whatever it is. I feel like you've learned so much. I feel that you are quite literally a different person now compared to before, to do with whatever this is, with the Ace of the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. You truly are a very, very different person now. And again, with the Six of Swords, it kind of feels like it's actually talking to somebody, and it feels like it's somebody that's either in your life now or from the past, in terms of, it's something you haven't said which you needed to say, basically. It's something you haven't said which you needed to say. And you won't necessarily realise, but by you not expressing this to whoever this person is, And I want to be broad on this one, right? Because I do feel it broad. It's different for all of you. So for some of you, it is to do with a romantic relationship. For some of you, it is to do with something at work. For some of you, it's to do with a family member. You know, and for some of you, it's even to do with a friendship. I do feel like it's different for all of you, but what I don't think you're aware of is by you not saying what it is that you really need to say, by not sharing how you're really feeling about either this person or the situation, whatever you're in, it's actually draining some of your energy, is what I feel with the Knight of Wands. But again, like the Six of Swords, it feels like, you know, it feels like returning to something that did previously cause problems. But if you return to it now, because you've gone through this massive journey of self-growth and you are now a very different person, with the Ace again, with these Aces and with all of these cards here, you are a completely different person now. And the Akashic Records really wants you to know that. Have confidence and faith in the fact that you are now a very, very different person. Compared to who you were in the past when you were either dealing with this person or dealing with this situation. And now actually to gain full kind of closure and move forward either with this person and move forward into a new situation with this person or whatever it might be, or actually to gain closure on it so you can move forward with a different person or a different situation. It just is really important that you just go back to that certain scenario to just say what needed to be said. Because it feels like as well, for some reason, just one second, I just want to get a couple more here, because you know with this Newt, with the mystery, it feels like some of this as well, like I can only say so much to do with all of this, because the rest is really for you to not just fill in the blanks, but for you to really make the choice about what you're going to do about this. Because again, I feel like this is something that either you've been playing with in your mind for a while, or it's something that other people have encouraged you, or you've seen synchronicities or something like that. But the Akashic Records just want you to know that you really are a lot more emotionally mature now to do with where you're at. And also, so is this other person. And also, if it's not another person, you know what, you really are a lot more mature now to do with this situation. And so is the situation that you're going to be going into, which is maybe kind of like the same. But it does feel like almost going back into this situation is part of you understanding that, I don't know, of like how far you've come. And also I think there'll be something incredibly supportive about going back into this situation or saying what it is that you need to say that will really, really surprise you. Because you know what, you haven't just gone on this journey of like self-growth, so has this other person. And if it's not another person, you know, you've actually gone on this journey of self-growth, and therefore the situation that you return to, if it's more like of a situation type of thing, it will play out incredibly different because of the fact that you are now a different person. But by you kind of avoiding this situation, or by you kind of avoiding going back to something or going back to someone, or I don't know, some sort of returning type of feeling, by you not returning, even if it's like returning home, like literally, it's like, think that you're the hero's journey to do with support. You've gone on this full journey. It's been great, then it's been awful. You felt betrayed, then you felt tricked, then somebody's coming to help you, support you. I don't know, you've gone like a full circle to do with stuff to do with support. And it might not just be relationship-wise, it might be in your job as well. It might be with family members. And to be honest, for a lot of you, if you're really honest, it might be a combination of all of them. So you've gone on this huge hero's journey to do with support, and now really it's about returning to where you first came from to do with it all. Is that, and I mean it metaphorically, because it'll be different things for all of you, but there's something about returning that is actually, it's just incredible. But that's where the magic's now at, because the other version that I'm getting is The Alchemist. And I don't know if any of you read The Alchemist, but at the end, he actually returns to where he was from, and that's where basically he finds this whole fortune. And it's got that kind of feel to it. Like in the Alchemist, he went for years sort of like traveling, going around all these different places, etc., like following this kind of like the omens or whatever it was. And in the end, the omens brought him right back to where he first was at. But because he was a completely different person by the time he got back to that place, he was able to receive something totally different from where he was first from, because he was a completely different person. And you know what? It's got that kind of energy for you guys to do with support. So the other thing then is to just really say that the Akashic Records really wants you to just acknowledge how far you've come to do with this, how much you've grown, how much you've worked on yourself. And just, you know what, now you're at that precipice of like, well, do I take this next, like almost like leap of faith into some kind of area about vulnerability? Because this feels like a vulnerability as well somehow. It's so cute. Because this thing, spending quality time together, listen and talk to each other, like spending a lot of time together and really, because that's full communication, not just talking, but also listening. And also, you know, I don't know, there's just something cool about that. There's something like very vulnerable and very sweet about this kind of energy. And really now it's just a choice of, I suppose it's like being able to put down all of the struggles that you might have had to do with support. Like maybe, again, it's sort of, you know, a lot of things for support. It's not too full on for you guys to do with this because I feel like you've worked through it. But it's that kind of thing of like, maybe in the past you were somebody that was always like, you know what, I'll do things alone. It's better to do things alone, or that kind of thing. Or, you know, I want to be with somebody, but ultimately, oh God, no, it's just easier to be alone. Or, you know what, I want to work in this team or this group or work in this community or whatever it might be. But you know what, ultimately, oh, I'm better off being alone. I kind of feel like you guys have actually really gone through that journey, and I feel like you're now on the other side of like realising that actually there really is something potentially very special and magical about you kind of sharing yourself with another or with a group or with a community or whatever it might be, because as you share yourself with that person or that group, they can then share themselves with you, and then this sets up like this really balanced, kind of even, kind of harmonious, kind of like, I'm seeing like the infinity symbol, like a real harmony, a real balanced flow to do with support. And I do really feel like the universe wants you to know that you're in a situation to receive and give very nurturing, balanced support, but also very protective energy as well. It kind of feels like a nice balance between masculine and feminine type of energy. And again, it's just like the Akashic Records really wants you to know that it's all good, basically. It's all good. So now it's, what are you going to do with this good energy that you now have to do with support? And it really does look like it's something very much about you going back into a certain, I don't know, it's just like with this, the Six of Swords, just returning back into a situation, that previously it would have been difficult or you didn't want to do, or returning back to a person to communicate something that you haven't communicated. And all I just know is whatever you do to do with this and whatever way it plays out in your life, it's actually going to give you so much energy, so much vitality, and it's going to start programming you with really amazing imprints to do with support. And ultimately the reason is because you've gone through a whole hero's journey to do with support, and now it's like going back to the beginning to receive what was always there, what was always meant for you. But you just have to do that first bit, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah, I really like this. For some reason I just really want to pull one more. I don't know why, I just do, so let's do it. So, message number 5. What does the Akashic Records want to tell you guys right now to do with support? Okay. Lightbringer, nice. Yeah, the Lightbringer, again, it just feels to me like I'm getting this thing about you have purified your energy to do with a whole load of things. Just enjoy what you're now a vibrational match to receive, but open yourself up to that. And by opening yourself up to that, it's by kind of taking the first step to return to something that ultimately can be something amazing for you. But like I say, to do this, whatever this is, it could be a person, but it could be a job, it could be a conversation. I don't know if it's a conversation that has played on your mind for a long period of time. It could even be years, right? You just never really got the chance to say something and you feel like you need to say something. It could be that. It could even be returning to a creative project. And actually, if you return to that creative project, you're now going to receive so much more support from it, because you're now in a place to receive support, and you're now in a place to give so much support to it. I don't know, whatever it is, it will be different for all of you. There's something really powerful about returning, like I say, to the beginning of what was always meant for you. And it's very much this alchemist type of feeling. So if you've never read The Alchemist, it's only a short book. Maybe that might give you some clarity on it all as well. But essentially, just know that you are now in this incredible space of emotional maturity to do with support. And because of that, people, situations and opportunities coming, or that you allow to come into your life, or that you activate into your life, or whatever, they will also hold this emotional maturity. So really, essentially, it's like an exciting new chapter coming for you guys to do with support. Cool, so I'll leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed this reading. If it didn't resonate with you, just choose another pile, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Bye!